Coming up next on the CHGO Cubs Podcast, how does the Cubs' right field situation stack up against the rest of the division? Plus, the Kris Bryant story just gets sadder and sadder by the day. And Tony Clark, well, then I don't know what to say. Plus, we play a new game, CHGO Cubs. Here we go. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast, and it is Wednesday. It is the 18th already of February.
Wow.
Month away from St. Patty's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Spring training trip is closing in. How many days till our trip? March 5th.
March 5th. What day is today? You said
we're
February
closing
18th.
in.
It feels
10
like
and 5, right? 15 days. That sound right?
about that. It feels like
2
spring
weeks.
training outside right now because it
2
is
weeks.
a gorgeous day in Chicago. It is unbelievable outside, giving us a preview of what to come.
I needed my Shady Rays.
We have the window open right
I
now.
know, we
Look at
cracked
that
the
window open.
Woo.
Flowing that air.
Sunshine.
And
Oh, Shady
bringing
Rays
it
is
in.
going to make this trip special. I'm going to get a new pair of Shady Rays before we go. Again, we go on the 5th. Everything's a la carte. If you want to go sign up, we're going to go to Cubs games. We're going to have a golf outing if you want to go to that. We're going to go to a Bulls-Suns game if you want to go to that. And we're also just going to have some meet and greets, or maybe you just want to go to one spring training game. That's cool too, whatever you want. But we'll all be there. And we're all here today. Luke Stuckmeyer, Joey Christopoulos, Justin Roman, Sarah on the ones and twos.
Go Cubs.
Go Cubs. There
Well,
it
it's
is.
quiet. I couldn't hear
Very
that.
quiet. She's
Wow.
less enthusiastic today, I think. I don't know what that was all about.
I'm enthusiastic about how our AC is already broken, and it is February because it's hot in the studio.
It's all right.
It's
We
okay.
just need a
4
little cross
seasons.
ventilation.
Yeah.
4 seasons. That's who we call. Yes, Becky is here. She's feeling better. That's great to hear,
Yes.
Becky. And we see that what you saw, Mike Talkman, going to the Mets.
The Palatine Pounder gone.
Arlington Heights assassin.
Yeah.
Also. All right, so let's get started with this. We are going to talk Tony Clark. We'll talk a little bit about KB. We've got Joey's game. It's top secret. Can't give you any of the rules just yet. But first, we want to ask you what we're asking in the thumbnail. Where do the Cubs rank in right field compared to the rest of the NL Central? Now, it's not just Seiya, but for the most part, you're talking about the everyday right fielder. We talked yesterday about how it might be Seiya and Shaw a lot.
Yeah.
It could be almost a platoon out there in right field. But let's just count Seiya as the right fielder. How does he stack up against the Brewers, the Pirates, the Reds, and the other team that doesn't matter in right field? I will argue there's actually 3 names for the Cubs. I just don't know who the 3 are going to be. It's Seiya, Shaw, and is it going to be Alcantara? Is it going to be somebody else?
Okay. Dylan
Carlson, Chas McCormick,
Yeah.
Tyler Austin can play the outfield. It could be a mix.
I
for
think it's
sure.
mainly Seiya Suzuki with a little Shaw sprinkled in there. It
Little
seems like
sprinkle of Shaw.
that's kind of going to be our right field situation. And I got to be honest, I love that. I really do.
Last year, there was somebody in the division that was better in right field. Well, Kyle Tucker was pretty good for half a season in right field.
Yeah.
But let's just talk about Sal Frelick. Where is he compared to Seiya? Like, if you want to start at the top, or do you want to go to the bottom?
Yeah, let's start at the bottom.
Oh, okay. They don't
Drake
matter.
said so. Because Drake said we
Start at the bottom. Start at the bottom. It's the Cardinals, and they don't matter.
You
Jordan
need the
Walker.
reps, Luke. You need the reps on the Drake hits. Yeah, let's start at the bottom. It's the St. Louis Cardinals. Who really cares? But no, we do have Jordan Walker there right now. Now look, again, you might see a little Alec Burleson out there too as well. They can move him around from first base, DH, and also right field. But if you're the St. Louis Cardinals and you're going to be bad this year and you stink, you got to find out what you have with Jordan Walker, a guy that I think turned a lot of heads 3 spring trainings ago, had a decent season with some injuries, has fallen off the map. Justin, right now, he's a minus 1.7 WAR player last year with a 584 OPS.
And this one of the worst players in baseball.
Yeah.
Right. And when we talk about highly heralded prospects, and we talk about guys panning out right now for the Cardinals. Jordan Walker is a guy who isn't panning out, and that's why he's 5th on the list right now.
Well, and also too, like, you know, they're kind of having some a habit of this, because we have one of their former top prospects in our camp fighting for a roster spot as a backup outfielder, you know? So can't say it can't happen to a better organization because we don't like them and they're boring and blah.
Yep, moving on, lights off. Here we go. Number 4. Moving on to number 4, we have Noelvi Marte, the right fielder for the Cincinnati Reds. So this guy's really interesting. The part about him, and he's coming in at number 4, 1.4 WAR last year, 24 years old, and 90 games, which is spot duty, or a guy that's came on a little bit towards the end of last year, 263, 300 on base percentage, 748 OPS. The funny part about Noelvi Marte is that Zips hates him.
Really?
Ooh.
Zips thinks that he's going to be a minus WAR player, 0.2 minus. They actually like Will Benson more, who played a lot of left field. Wow. If you hung out with us in the 120 bleachers, we gave that Will Benson a nice hard time last year when he played against us. So look, again, nothing that's really blowing your hair back. Nothing that's making you scared from the right field position in the National League, the National League Central. And Luke, like, the right field position used to be a position of power, right?
Yeah.
Used to be a position where you had to figure that out a little bit.
Sosa, Dawson, I mean.
Sure, I mean, go down. I mean, Eric Davis. I mean, like, you can go across.
Zonk.
Yeah, Ray Langford, all sorts of guys that played right field. And so far, again, as we do this exercise, you continue to see that there isn't a lot of solid competition from this position in the National League Central, which brings us to number 3, Ryan O'Hearn. Now, Ryan O'Hearn, we've done on a previous show. He might play a little first base for the Pittsburgh Pirates, but again, you know, they're a dime and a dollar short in a lot of different areas. We like their pitching staff. Their offense still has a lot of question marks. Yeah. Ryan O'Hearn's a guy with an OPS over 800 the last 2 years, but again, a guy that he's a guy.
Yeah.
He's a guy. That's it. He's a guy.
He's fine.
He's a guy.
He'll hit maybe 15 to 20 home runs, provide you a little bit of pop, but nothing that's getting you scared.
The division is weak in right field.
Yeah.
And we talked about it at some other spots. Well, like, this is a spot where the Cubs need to put a stranglehold on the division. Like, if you're just breaking it down position like we are, here's another one, right? Like, it's pretty much Cubs and Brewers when you get to the top.
Yeah.
When I look at O'Hearn, Marte, and Walker, the thing that comes to my mind is this is the cautionary tale for everybody that says, well, this is the last season for Seiya.
Okay.
Yeah.
For all of you that are like, and listen,
moving on, right?
I get upset by Seiya because when he's out of his comfort zone, sometimes for as good as hitter he is, like, his strikeouts, you're like, what was that? Like, his at bats can look horrible sometimes, and I don't like him defensively. But who on this list? Who would you be replacing him with?
Right.
Like, there aren't a ton of great options in right field, and we're looking at it here, and to me, he's the cream of the crop.
Well, I think you're also looking at it like, who replaces Seiya if he walks? I think Matt Shaw replaces him. You know, like, we kind of have that in-house. Now, you're losing 2 corner outfielders, potentially. So, you know, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I would be more apt to re-sign Seiya Suzuki. And I think that bat can be elite. I think it's been elite in stretches. I think it still can be elite. But bottom line is, you're right. Who you fill in these spots with, I do think Matt Shaw is probably one of them. And but that being said, for this year, that makes the Seiya Suzuki Matt Shaw combo, I think, leaps and bounds better than the names you read so far.
Yeah, and that's what's intriguing about Seiya Suzuki this year is that the part that I keep thinking about, and I know we like talking about on this show about extending Nico Hoerner, I just think, like, the disparity of what Seiya Suzuki could possibly earn this offseason, I think it is leaps and bounds larger, wider, and more lucrative for Seiya Suzuki than Nico Hoerner. Like Luke, there's a world where he's a $20 million player right now. Mm-hmm. If Seiya Suzuki hits 30 bombs again, drives in 100 RBIs, maybe jacks that OPS up closer to what he was the previous 2 seasons in the 850 area, makes an all-star team, plays solid enough right field defense, do you think he could be a $30 million a year player, or do you think that's maybe just a little too rich? He's got the talent, but that's the question. Could he price himself out of even the Cubs' comfortability zone?
It only takes one team. It only takes one team with a lot of money looking to fill that void. So, yes, the answer is yes. Is that possible? Sure.
Yeah.
He was a 2.6 F-WAR player last year. They're predicting 2.9 this year. Now, Frelick was 3.6 last year. Zips has him only as a 2.1 this year. And when I mentioned third base a couple days ago, we looked at Bregman, and I was like, wait a minute. Depending on what season Shaw has, we might have the 2 best third basemen in the division. It's less likely in right field, but if Matt Shaw is the prospect the Cubs think he is, and his bat is consistent with the guy we saw in the second half, not the postseason at the very end, and not the first half, so he's got to even it out for sure. Seiya and Shaw could easily be the top 2 right fielders in the division. It's not crazy. Frelick hit 12 home runs and batted .288. I don't know if Shaw's going to hit .288, but Matt Shaw already hit 12 home runs last year.
In limited second half.
He hit 11 in the second half. Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So if he plays a whole season and he has the second half is now his full season, well, he's going to be a way better player than Sal Frelick, a way more valuable player. And I would expect him that, okay, Frelick was 3.6. If Matt Shaw played the whole season like he did in the second half, he might be a 3-4 WAR player, right?
Well, that's the key with the value, right? Is like Matt Shaw is a Gold Glove caliber third baseman.
He's your backup.
If he can take like 80% of that out to right field, he provides a lot of value for the team.
Which he can.
Right.
Former shortstop. I mean, best athlete on the field at all times. Like, he can do that.
Yeah. And look, like we're getting excited about the Cubs. Like, real talk just for right now. Sal Frelick is better than Matt Shaw.
Yes.
Okay. As long as we're
today,
cool.
Right now.
Today and right now. But I
think,
think
of the season, who knows?
Yeah, and I think if you talk to people in the Cubs organization how they feel about Matt Shaw, I promise you a couple of them would think that his potential and his ceiling is definitely higher than Sal Frelick, right? He just has to go out there and do it. But for right now, Sal Frelick stands number 2 right now in the National League Central right field rankings, which brings us to Seiya with a bullet. And I think it's, again, like we were doing with Michael Busch, I think this is a sizable gap between the quality of player of Seiya Suzuki that you would want on your team and a guy like Sal Frelick.
I think it is very sizable. I think that Seiya Suzuki is going to hit, 3, 4, 5 in that lineup, right? Right in the heart of the lineup. A very, very good, deep lineup. Seiya Suzuki, I've said before, I'll say it again, his bat is elite. Now, I know it's not elite every single time, but he goes through stretches where his bat is elite, and it can be elite. There was some stats about, like, when he's playing in the field, his bat is, like, he literally, like, he is an elite hitter at times, and I think putting it all together, giving him a role. Now, last offseason, don't forget, there was a lot of, like, clouds over this whole thing where we traded for Tucker. Seiya wasn't happy about not playing right field, hey, Seiya, now you're our right fielder. Go get it. His mind is right. Play right field. Be the hitter that we know you can be. And by the way, we're also going to move around a little bit because we have this like super utility guy, Matt Shaw. So all in all, the Seiya Suzuki Matt Shaw combo is leaps and bounds better than anything else in our division. But Seiya by himself as well is better.
I just watched the marquee video this morning on their Twitter page or X page or whatever the heck you want to call it. And it's Alcantara talking about the adjustments he's made. And he says, I got power to every field and I'm ready to go.
Good.
So let's just play. It's Wild Thought Wednesday.
Love it.
What if he develops this year?
Love it.
What if this is the year finally that he takes that next step and all that athleticism that we've seen down in the minor leagues clicks and he becomes another guy in right field, okay? Now am I just completely delusional? Do I need my own? Do I need my own reality
Careful,
spray?
when I sprayed myself, I almost blinded myself.
I'm not going to do it, but what if the Cubs had 3 of the top 4 right fielders in the division?
The only problem with
it only takes Alcantara emerging just as much as Noelvi Marte or Jordan Walker. Like, is he any less likely to do it than one of those guys?
The problem I have with that, and I listen, the reality spray, I think you deserve a spray for that. I love the optimism.
It was a question,
okay.
But yeah.
But I think that the only problem I have here is that where are those at-bats coming from, right? I mean, with this roster being as loaded as it is, you're looking at Seiya is your starter. We all agree on that, right? I think, Bruce Levine had said that, was it Craig Counsell who said that ultimately Seiya is going to be a DH against lefties, Shaw is probably going to be in there. So I don't think there's enough at bats for Kevin Alcantara to really kind of become the third or fourth best right fielder in his division. But like I said earlier in this podcast, at the end of this season, we have 2 corner outfield spots that are going to be open. Maybe the young guns get them, Shaw and Alcantara. Maybe we re-sign Seiya, and who knows? But there is going to be a spot on this team as a 4th outfielder, and then moving into next year, there's a chance for someone to take that and run with it and be like the Jaguar being our right fielder or left fielder for years to come.
Wow, I just say this. It's another position where the Cubs are at least 1 or 2, and there's no debating that one way or another. If you're any sane person, they're at least 1 or 2. All right, coming up after the break, we're going to play this new game with Joey, and we're going to take the temp with it. But first, a word from our sponsors at CHGO.
Hey, Cubs fans, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And right now, new customers can get up to $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5 win or lose. With opening day just a month away, you got to get those futures in right now. Cubs to maybe win the NL Central, Cubs to win the pennant, Cubs to win the
next 3 World Series.
I love it right there, and you can do it all at Bet365. You can also double your winnings right now on parlays with Bet365's 100% parlay boost. So download the app and use code CHGO365 for those offers when you sign up. It doesn't get any better, and those bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, never ordinary at Bet365. So remember, use that code CHGO365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5. You get $200 in bonus bets if that bet wins or loses. Remember, you must be 21 or older. If someone you know has a gambling problem, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Bet365, it is in-app only.
Bet365. Hey, as a man, are you starting to feel like you've got a little low energy throughout the day? You don't have the same motivation and drive. You see that scale moving up, the hair falling out, muscles tightening up. Well, that might be a result of low testosterone. It's very common as you age and something to be mindful of, whether it's peak performance or becoming a better dad, better husband, better man. Game Day Men's Health wants to support you and every man's health journey through their personalized care tailored to your goals. Very quick, easy process. You're in and out of there in an hour. You'll feel better, have more energy with testosterone, vitamin supplements, weight loss, and hair loss treatments. You can be anywhere from like 27 years old to a near senior citizen like me. You don't have to just believe me. Take a look at Josh. Have you seen Josh? Josh is a customer, and look at this. Lost over 100 pounds in a little over a year with that testosterone replacement therapy. Start your best life right now. Game Day Men's Health locations all over there. Go to Game Day Men's Health. GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. Back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, we've decided that Seiya Suzuki is no worse than 1 or 2 in the Central.
He's one.
We believe he's one. We believe the Cubs situation is one. And I went as crazy as to say they might have the 2 best right fielders by the end of the season in the National League.
You actually
Central.
said they could have the top
3 or 4. 3 or 4.
Which
That's
I love
right.
that optimism.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten, so there's a lot of craziness going through my mind.
Wild Thought Wednesday.
That's right. That's coming up. Hey, we're going to play Joey's new game, Produce or Prepare at Spring Training. And it is sponsored by 4 Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric, serving the Chicagoland area for more than 50 years. 4 Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Go to 4 Seasons heatingcooling.com. Don't miss out on their money-saving coupons either, by the way. All right, so prepare or produce. What does this player have to do in Cactus League action in order to be what they need to be this year?
Right. So easy example, right? When you talk about a player like Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman doesn't need to hit 350 in the spring.
He doesn't need to produce in the Cactus League at all.
All he needs to do is prepare for opening day. Right. Prepare to play 162. Now, a guy like we mentioned in the last segment, a guy like Dylan Carlson or Chas McCormick, I think we all can agree. They need to produce production.
Alcantara.
Yeah, hit the ball in
Alcantara.
spring.
I don't know which one it is.
Bring it in spring training to make a compelling case that you deserve to be on the opening day roster. So here we go. Here's the first one that I want to throw at you guys. The first one is Moises Ballesteros. Does he need to produce or does he simply need to prepare for opening day?
First thing, he has to arrive.
Could. Step one.
He needs to arrive.
Get everybody here.
Baby steps.
I mean, it's not not his fault, but he needs to get here to do that. I'm pretty sold on him. I still think he needs to produce, though. Listen, he's not a veteran, but I think that no question the guy can hit. I think he proved it in the bigs last year. I think he's proved it his entire time in the minor leagues. That being said, even though we're basically handing him the DH job, he still has to produce this spring. I want to see him, bat over 300, good knocks, good looking swings, to feel good about it. I would not feel good rolling into opening day if Ballesteros batted 134 and looked lost at the plate. I would not feel good about that. But so I say for him, it's produce.
I agree. I think it's produce. I think you want to see a good spring. That doesn't mean he has to hit 5 home runs and have the best batting average in the Cactus League or anything like that. You just want to see him have a good approach and look like he's seeing the ball well and things are going well. I think he's breaking with the team anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
But
would be nice if he produced.
If he if he had just an absolutely horrible spring, then what are the Cubs doing at DH? It's like, okay, does that mean Shaw would play even more?
Yeah, I mean,
right field and Seiya would be the DH, or does that mean you'd give Bregman more time off and let Shaw play a little more third? No, I don't think that's the answer. So,
but I hate thinking negatively. But you are kind of covered in that situation because Seiya can slide to DH and Shaw can be your right field. I think you are covered that way. Best case scenario, Mo Baller is your DH from day one, and there's a rotation of Seiya and Shaw and the whole thing. We are a better team because of it, but we're not totally screwed if it goes the other way.
Yeah, that's what I think is the fun part about this game is it isn't really cut and dry, right? I agree with you. I think he'll be on the opening day roster, but I think he needs to produce, right? I think he needs to check the box.
Yeah.
And barrel up some baseballs in the spring and make us all feel really confident that we can run him out there. When we talk about what those matchups are going to look like, I think Moises Ballesteros still needs to earn his spot to get the predominant amount of at-bats against right-handed pitching. Right. So I think he's in the produce category. I got a good one for you guys. Producer prepare Hunter Harvey.
Ooh.
Prepare.
Okay.
Prepare.
Okay, interesting.
I say prepare because he is a veteran. I think that he has shown elite stuff in the past. I mean, produce from a standpoint of from a health standpoint, produce, right? But I'm just saying, I'd rather him prepare and be healthy for the season because I do know that he has done it before. He's not some rookie we're waiting on to see if he's got, he's not Jackson Wiggins or anything like that. So I say for him, it's more about preparing, especially when there have been health questions in the past. I want him to prepare to be healthy for this upcoming season.
Yeah, and maybe the answer to this depends on the other fringe options in the bullpen, right? What if Luke Little is lights out in spring training? Right. What if Ben Brown shows you that he's absolutely in the bullpen? Go on down the list. Wicks, whoever you want to say is Assad. How do those guys play? And so I will say for Hunter Harvey a little bit of both. Okay. Although I lean towards what you're saying. They didn't acquire him to have him sit and not be ready. Right. I think almost no matter what he does in spring training, unless they think the results are bad because something's wrong, he mostly needs to prepare. But they would like to see him produce.
This was, I think, maybe the hardest one for me personally because you're both making great points. Prepare, yes, because yes,
every show.
He's been so. Where you been? Every single thing says that Hunter Harvey, if he's healthy, he's going to be a dynamic piece for us in the bullpen. So you want him to prepare and just get to opening day. Yep. I'm slightly leaning towards produce though, because I want to see that 98 rocking again in spring training, and I want to see him. Wow, he's mowing down some guys. He's got that mojo back. Right. Not only is he healthy, but he's feeling really good. So it's curious. Clearly, health first with him. I'm 100% with you on that prepare, but I think Hunter Harvey has just a tiny little bit to prove. I don't think he's going to lose his spot necessarily, but I think he can maybe earn a more trusted role out of the gate if you were to produce a little bit.
Listen, if there was a world where Ryan Presley was our closer just because we handed it to him, I think
that
Hunter
would never
Harvey.
happen.
I'm saying Hunter Harvey is going to have a little bit of a leash here to make the club because his stuff can be elite when healthy.
I got a good one for you. Produce or prepare Matt Shaw.
Oh,
What do you got? What do you got?
You know, I'll go first. I'm a big Matt Shaw fan. I think that he took the feedback the coaches gave him last year with that big high leg kick, went down to AAA, subdued that a little bit, came back second half, looked really good. Then again, looked horrible in the playoffs, overmatched in the playoffs. I will say produce only from a standpoint of I want to see Matt Shaw be motivated, and I want to see him I said last year, guys, I thought him being overmatched in the playoffs was one of the best things that could have happened to Matt Shaw from a career standpoint. I think now he knows, like, it's not as easy as it was in every other level. Like, I gotta tweak my swing a little bit more. The fact that he also is now been delegated to backup or super utility. I want to see him not pout about it. I want to see him produce. I want to see him embrace that role, embrace your inner Ben Zobrist, and really, you can really help this ball club still by being a great super utility guy. So I think with Matt Shaw, the talent is there, undeniable to me, but I still want to see him produce for the reasons that I mentioned.
Yeah.
I agree that the answer is produce. It doesn't mean that I don't think prepare is a possibility. Like, I don't think he's going to go 0 for the spring.
Right.
But because, yet again, he's adjusted the leg kick, and we had such a horrific finish in the postseason where he was overmatched, I think the Cubs have already sent the message that it's produced just by acquiring Bregman to take over third base for the next 5 years. They've already said, hey, buddy, you got to produce. And they've also already said produce by showing the past. Happ back to Iowa. Shaw's gone to Iowa at some point, right? Schwarber went back to Iowa.
Right.
Guys have gone back to Iowa. So it's in the unlikely scenario that Matt Shaw with this new swing and now the hesitation of I'm learning the outfield is so brutal in the spring that he's just totally thrown off. I do think there's a tiny % chance that the Cubs would say, dude, just calm down, go work on all this stuff in Iowa. It's not going to be long. Alcantara can help us out in right field. We don't need the backup because we can get enough at third. If we need you, we can call you up instantly. I say it's produced, and I think it's the message the Cubs sent by getting Alex Bregman. It doesn't mean he needs to hit 500.
Right.
He just needs not to go 0 for the spring.
Right, and to Justin's point, like, you want Matt Shaw to be really motivated this spring. He is a young player who wants to take a step forward offensively and needs to also prove that he can play a different position, which is the outfield, whether it is right field or left. So, yeah, like, when I say, I saw Corey in the chat saying, he needs to prepare to play right field. I think we're getting into the semantic of we're in agreement that he needs to produce and show that he can play right field and check that box and get to opening day. All right. I think we got 2 minutes before the break. I got one for you.
Okay.
And here's the deal.
Uh-oh.
Produce or prepare. I'm going to give you 2 players.
Okay.
You cannot pick the same for each player.
Oh,
so one of these
this
players,
game's changing rules.
One of these players has to produce. One of these players has to prepare. Okay? Cade Horton and Edward Cabrera.
Oh.
Is it? Is it?
Easy?
Sarah, go
Easy.
first.
I'll answer super quick. Produce Cade Horton.
Okay.
Because he already, we saw what he did last year. I don't care that he's young or whatever. I think he's more than capable, and I think he knows what it's like to be at that level. Cabrera is the one who's new. He's on the new team. I think he has to prepare to even play with all these people.
Oh, that's a different take on
Horton's
the 2 words.
been with a whole
It
team. He's been with the team for a whole year now.
It's a different spin. That's a different spin on what I was thinking. I was going to go the opposite. I would go Horton, just prepare, get ready.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to see production out of Cabrera in that the fastball's made some adjustments. And it is semantics a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Cade Horton's in the rotation, and Cabrera.
And I'm forcing you to answer because I think both these guys are probably a prepare at the end of the day. But if I had to force you.
The only guy out of that mix that would go to the bullpen in some crazy situation is Cabrera.
which I don't think will ever happen.
No, I don't either. But if I was saying like one of them could end up in the bullpen, it's not Horton.
I think the parameters of this game, and I think Sarah is kind of saying what we're saying here. It is a different spin on the words. I do think Cade Horton is prepare. You're coming off an arm injury. No, I'm sorry. You're coming off an injury though. And was it arm?
No, it's rib.
Yeah. You're coming off an injury. You pitched more innings last year. And you're like, prepare. We know what you got. We know you're a stud. We know that you're our ace. I want to see you 100% healthy for opening day. That's what I want out of Cade Horton. Cabrera, I also want him to be obviously healthy as well. But I do want to see him, I don't want to see him walking 5-6 guys to start in the spring. So for me, it is a little more results-based. Now, both those guys are going to be in the rotation no matter what, if you ask me. But Agreed. I think if you're gun to my head, it's prepare for Cade Horton, produce for Edward Cabrera.
Yeah, and I'm going to roll. I think I'm going to roll with Sarah on this one just for funsies, where I want Edward Cabrera to be healthy. So prepare, right? Just get to opening day. Give us those 25, 26 starts if you can.
Right.
The thing that would be really cool about Cade Horton and produce is that what if he just has that type of spring that says, like, I'm ready to, like, explode on the scene. I'm ready to compete for a Cy Young. I'm mowing guys down. We talked about him throwing 98 in a bullpen session. What if he's pumping 98 on the regular all throughout spring, and it's like game on, shackles off, pitch count, who cares, innings up. So what if Cade Horton produces Edward Cabrera?
Exactly what you just said, Joey. He wants a Cy Young this year. He had his time last year to prepare. He showed all of that. But this year is a different story now. He can absolutely win that if he wants it.
Yeah.
So it's like he has to produce then. And he's been on the team.
Yeah.
Producing the regular season for sure.
Yeah, and look.
Cactus League, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair, and I think both of those guys, if they had a 6.0 ERA in the spring, I think we're going to easily on this show slough it off and just say, all right, well, when the bell rings, everyone will be ready. I think the Cade Horton produce is more of a luxury pick. It would be nice if he's just, God, he's striking everybody out.
Well, this would be an easy both prepare, but you made the game where we had to pick one or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the jerk.
Yeah, you're the jerk here. If it was no rule, it was both prepare. I think we all can agree on that.
All right, let's do a couple more of these after the break. Then we're going to talk about Kris Bryant, and we are going to talk about Tony Clark. Woo. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Hey, Cubs fans, get that headgear for the new year. And whether it's a snapback, trucker, fitted, beanie, or tee, it's Branded Bills because they've got you covered in performance and style. And if you're looking for some gear for your brand to stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills has got you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order with their dedicated team. They'll help you create the exact same custom apparel that you need. We even have our own CHGO Branded Bills hat here in the office. And here's the best part. They got partnerships with over 40 colleges, including these Big Ten schools, Luke. Roll call. We got Michigan State, ladies and gentlemen. We got Maryland. We got Iowa. Oh, Indiana. Look at this. National champion. How about that? Ohio State, Penn State, Iowa, and more. So head on over right now to brandedbills.com and use the code BBCHGO when you sign up for 15% off your first order. That's right. Head on over to brandedbills.com today. Again, use that code BBCHGO. You'll get 15% off your first order and wear that hat on the golf course or anywhere else in style this year.
$1 in the penalty jar for messing up Joey's hair. New Chevrolet models are in store at Ray Chevrolet, and it's your chance to shop hot deals all month long during their auto show sales event. Stop in today. Drive home with 0% financing for 72 months on all new Chevrolet models, or check out their selection of over 125 vehicles that they have priced under 20 grand. And with one of the area's largest Chevy inventories, you're going to find the perfect vehicle for you. And as one of the top selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, they keep their prices competitive. So you're going to get that great deal. Raise price promise. The price you see is the price you pay. There's no shenanigans going on. Go see for yourself our partner at their convenient location, Route 12 in Fox Lake. Don't miss out on the auto show sales event going on all month long. 72 months, 0% financing on all new Chevy models. Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com, serving the community since 1963. Ray likes to say, together, let's drive. All right, we're playing a little game of prepare or produce in Cactus League action. What players have to do each. Some have to do both,
right?
Obviously, but as you said, Alex Bregman doesn't need to produce in Cactus League action. He just needs to get ready for the season.
And he's looked good, by the way. Those home runs he's been hitting and batting.
Right.
I mean, woo.
Nobody's playing first base. Michael Busch
Right.
could have a bad spring. It wouldn't matter.
Yes.
He just needs to prepare. Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner.
Right.
Those guys are just prepare and get ready. But there are produce guys.
Right.
Any
so
others?
the easy one. Let's just rip this one really fast. Tyler Austin.
Yeah, you got to prepare. He won't be here.
I say produce.
Yeah, produce.
Produce, I mean.
Yeah,
Produce your own hit.
yeah. The dude needs to hit.
Yeah.
Dude needs to hit, right? I mean, that's the bottom line there. Like, they brought him over. Everyone likes him. Zips loves him. They think he might be the Justin Turner replacement, might be the right-handed thump off the bench. Dude needs to hit in the spring. There's no two ways about it.
My mind got mixed up. He needs to produce or prepare to go home.
There you go. There you go.
Okay?
Perfect. Good fix.
So he
Good
needs
fix.
a little bit of both.
Good fix.
Exactly.
Needs a little bit
all
of
right,
both.
so let's do the next one. Produce or prepare, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Palencia.
Prepare.
Just prepare.
Prepare.
Right?
He's already been named the
Yeah,
closer.
Exactly.
Right?
And,
If he gave up 5 home runs, he'd still be the closer.
And he was great in that role last year for the majority of the season. I've seen him do it. He was phenomenal in the playoffs. I've seen him handle high pressure. So for me, I'd love for him to strike out every batter he faces. But just prepare, get ready for opening day because I expect a big leap out of Palencia in year number 2 as a closer.
Which speaks volumes about how hard this guy has worked and the opportunity that he got last year and the fact that he locked it down, and even that little wobbly moment, and they brought him back. He ended up being the 6th inning, 7th inning guy. The fact that Craig's come out and has put a lot of confidence in him in spring. I'm with you guys. I think more just prepare, right?
Yeah.
Get through spring training, feel healthy, make sure the velocity's there, and then game on, right?
And Corey has a very good comment here. Prepare for more gasolina entrances. That's,
there you go.
Wrigley, get ready. You're going to hear a lot of gasolina this year.
So let's just do 2 more. One really quick. Shota Imanaga, produce or prepare?
Prepare.
I would say prepare as well, but I would say prepare with an asterisk because I would love to see.
It'd be nice to see it, wouldn't it?
It'd be nice
Justin?
to see that you're back to the year and a half Shota
Yes.
versus the bad Shota. So prepare, yes, but I want to see some results before opening day.
It wouldn't kill us
Yes.
if we saw some splitters, diving,
Yes.
and if, but I'm with you guys again. Prepare. He's earned the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
Just get through spring training, get your workload in, and get ready for the season. The final one, and I'm trapping you guys again because that was really fun. Produce or prepare. You can only pick one for produce, only pick one for prepare. Ben Brown, Javier Assad.
Produce is Ben Brown. Prepare is Javier Assad. Not because I think one is better than the other. I think that
One got hurt in spring training last year, and his whole season got wiped.
yes,
And
but
you're
I
putting him in
believe
the
Craig
prepare.
Counsell has more faith right now in Assad as his swing guy than he does Ben Brown. Brown has way more potential,
Right.
and I think he could be a really good option in the bullpen as well. But I still think there's more faith at the moment in Assad. If he was a little rocky, I think here's another question off it. Like, what if Wicks had a great spring and Assad had a horrific spring?
Yeah,
Would the roles flip? Would the confidence level flip, or would Counsell go back to his trusty man? 2 years ago, Assad was so good for us. What are we going to do?
Well, did you hear Tommy Hotovy kind of dismissed everything I said about Ben Brown being reliever, came out and said that he thinks that Ben Brown's a starter still.
Yeah.
I don't know where or how it fits in, but so maybe Counsell has more faith in Assad, but it sounded to me like Hotovy was really, really hitching his wagon to Ben Brown as a starter. I will say because, Assad has been a great story. I love the guy. Would love to see him pitch again. I think there's just so much more upside in Ben Brown that I want to see Ben Brown be the one to produce because I still think sky's the limit. We got to define his role, what that looks like. But I would love to see Ben Brown come out in the spring and be lights out.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Hotovy trying to gas up his guy. And when you look at Ben Brown, he has even with your eyeballs, the physical stature for him says, wow, this guy could be a rotation guy. Mm-hmm. You see the fastball, you say, wow, that could play 32 times a year on the mound. You see the curveball, it looks pretty good. And then, you see him against teams like the Brewers, twirl 6 or 7 shutout innings.
Yeah.
He is, I'm in agreement with you guys, he is the produce for me. We can keep trying to cast him into these roles, but he needs to go out there and take it. If I had to choose, I think Javier Assad, I'm with you. I think he also needs to produce, but if I had to pick one, let's just go prepare with Javier Assad because last year he hurt his oblique, tried to come back, hurt it again, basically wipe out all season long, and he can be an important swingman that doesn't have the best stuff, but he's very crafty, and he can fill in the gaps in a lot of really important innings in a long season that, maybe don't make like the end of season montage, but they're also like really important stuff. So Ben Brown it's all sitting out there for him. Mm-hmm. Goes out there, has a good spring. I think he can create his own role by producing in spring training. Like, show us who you want to be, man. And that's what I think that comes down to.
Assad will be at the World Baseball Classic. Robert, I agree with you. Starters have higher trade value. Oh. Well, that's why you're not going to say somebody's automatically going to the bullpen.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Although I do think, again, if they are saying for now he's a starter and he's worked on this and we still feel confident in him, that's where I'm talking about those piggybacks early in the season. Ben Brown's a guy.
You're right.
He might be a starter, but he might be a 4-inning starter.
Yeah.
And there might be a lot of those guys. So
or he could be a piggyback to someone like Shota Imanaga.
Yes.
Who, a little softer tosser than Ben Brown, comes in firing from the different side, from the lefty right. There are things totally you can do, but it's great to have depth. And I think for the first time in a long time, it feels like we do have depth on this team.
All right. So did you guys see the soundbite from Kris Bryant finally talking at spring training?
Where he said
it's not fun having to get out of bed and your body hurts.
Yeah.
It's hard to get out of bed because your body hurts.
Yeah.
It makes me sick to my stomach that anybody out there, even a Rockies fan who is mad about this contract.
And they are mad about this contract.
Right now, this is not... Yes, he could walk away, but if there's $90 million, what person in the world out there would be like, I'm good, $90 million, just... Listen, I would rehab for 5 years if they paid me $90 million. That's their fault for signing the contract.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to do the right thing and retire. He doesn't have to.
Yeah.
This is about his life. This isn't even about him as a baseball player. If somehow Kris Bryant and his back rejuvenated and he became an average player again, because he went from being a top 5, top 10 player in baseball, an MVP in baseball, top 5 for sure, down to a guy that was one of the worst players the last 2 or 3 years because he's just not even available.
Yeah.
And when he is, he's a shell of who he was. I feel horrible for him, but more importantly, this is the back. I want him to be able to play catch with his kids.
Right.
When he's talking about pain getting out of bed, I'm worried that the guy is not going to be able to walk at some point, right? Like, a back is a horrible thing. You see people with bad backs, and then once they can't walk, the rest of the body just falls apart, right? Like, it's anybody that has an older parent, keep walking.
Right.
And no matter how bad it hurts, keep walking, keep walking, keep the body moving. I'm one that should take that advice. Keep walking. But I just want him to have a healthy life so he can enjoy the millions of dollars at this point.
Yeah, it was sad to watch. You could just tell in his face and his demeanor that just he seems like he's broken. Like,
he's sad.
He's sad. Those are very sad eyes, sad conversation. It's sad to watch from a fan standpoint. Again, we got Kris Bryant, who's bigger than life. We got the Rookie of the Year, MVP, champion. We got all that stuff. That's the Kris Bryant that we know. The Rockies got a completely different version of him. My kind of hot take on it all, I gotta wonder if, whether it's this year, next year, that there's some kind of deal, restructuring, buyout of you're obviously never going to play again.
Mm-hmm.
We made this commitment to you financially. Let's make it work for both sides, something, because I don't think he's ever going to swing a professional at bat ever again. I really don't. And I think that maybe the Rockies and him at some point will come up with some kind of solution to make it go away.
Yeah, that's the worst part, is he's got to ask himself the question, can I do what I love or what I've known my whole life, but at what cost? Right? And it also, sometimes with this stuff, I know we like to make fun of busts. Who's a bust contract or whatever? It's
he's not a bust.
That's the problem, right? It almost changes how you consider it, because if the guy can't play, is he really a bust? I get it that his checks, sign, and cash all the same, but is he a bust if he can't even play?
It's not a bust.
Derek Rose a bust? No.
No, I think, but okay, so he's not a bust. We all agree he's not a bust. But Joey, to your point, one of the worst contracts in baseball history.
It's bad. No, look, and Anthony Rendon's saying hold my beer on that one too, and we can have that conversation.
Strasburg, another one.
The other part is obviously like we love KB and we've rooted for him from the moment that he got drafted, right? Like the day that he came up to the big leagues, I ran around the house and I said, "Merry Christmas" to my wife. And she thought that was corny and weird, but I loved it. And there's been 2 times in my life where I can really empathize and relate to how he feels about when he says waking up every day in pain. And for people that maybe that haven't experienced it, I just got to tell you, like, it seeps into every aspect of your life, mentally, how you look at life, how you feel about yourself. Not only is it a pity of like, why did this happen to me, but also like there's something wrong with me. And then that can make you have, it can alter your relationships with other people because they don't know that you're in pain, but you are in pain. So you're a little bit short. You're a little bit more annoyed. And yeah, Justin, man, you're bringing up a good point of like, he will have to ask himself the question, is it worth swinging a bat or is it worth me just trying to get back so maybe I can walk a couple miles around a pond or whatever it is and just sort of get through it. And it's incredibly, incredibly sad. And we had this conversation, Luke, when we did the mini pod about Kris Bryant versus Derrick Rose. One of the questions was, there is an irony to it, and it is bittersweet that, could you imagine if he had signed that $220 million deal with the Cubs? Right. And all the goodwill and the legacy that he had built in Chicago would have evaporated and disappeared because he still would be on the books with this injury. And the way that we think about Kris Bryant would forever be changed because of this bad deal that the Cubs would have handed out to him.
Yeah, Kris Bryant, the difference for me between D Rose and Kris Bryant is Kris Bryant got him to the championship before it all fell apart.
He got him one.
He got him a championship. That's the difference right there.
Yeah.
And obviously Derrick Rose is from Chicago, so that makes that part of it different.
And never forget, too, in the 10th inning, almost hits that ball out in right center, right? The ball that Almora tags up on, everyone goes like, Almora, good for you for tagging up. Kris Bryant, the MVP of the league, almost hit a go-ahead winning home run in the 10th inning of a Game 7 of a World Series to break the drought. Well, I know we love saying it for Zobrist, but Kris Bryant was, 5 feet? It's incredible.
Let me take it one step further. I was at Game 5 of Wrigley Field, the World Series at Wrigley Field with my dad. Last game we ever saw together in person, and very uneasy. We're down 3 3-1.
Yep.
And listen, we weren't scoring, and it was very uneasy. You're about to be eliminated from the World Series, and everyone's starting to get nervous, edge of their seats. Who comes up? Kris Bryant hits a bomb. The crowd changed like that, and history changed forever from Kris Bryant's home run in Game 5.
If you don't, for the people that are angry and saying horrible things about Kris Bryant, before he was married and had kids, the first 20-some years of his life, easily, what do you think his first love was?
Baseball, hands down.
Sure, his family's right there, but baseball is his true love. It's been ripped away from him.
Yeah.
In his prime, it's been ripped away. And I know money makes things feel different. But have you ever been really sick? Some people have gone through things like cancer or been in an accident, had bad legs. If I get the flu and I'm miserable, I've known it recently.
Right.
There is nothing you want in life more than to be healthy. Yeah. You just want, I'm such a weakling that if I get a stuffy nose for 2 weeks, I'm just like, please just like let one nostril open up and I will be so happy today if I can breathe out one side of my nose. Anybody that's been through anything like knee surgery, certainly cancer, they go through those things only hoping for health. Right. That's potentially been taken away from him as well. So it's not just baseball, it's health and baseball. Stop worrying that he didn't live up to $180 million or whatever it is. That's the Rockies' problem. Right. He doesn't have to give back any of it.
Right.
And I don't, for instance, if he had signed the $200 million deal with the Cubs, yes, it would have been frustrating as a Cubs fan because they wouldn't have spent the money on somebody else. That would have given them sticker shock of all time that they would have regretted for the rest of their lives. But teams that sign players that then get hurt and can't perform, I don't know that the Rockies were going anywhere anyways.
They weren't.
They gave him the money to try and draw in some crowds, okay? Like, I can't be mad at a player that's really hurt. I can't be mad at D. Rose for the injuries. People were. I can't be mad at Kris Bryant's career for what's happening now, whether I'm a Rockies fan or a Cubs fan. It's the players that show up, get the money, and then bag it. Just don't even try.
Like the Anthony Rondones of the world.
Yes, that's not what's going on here.
Right.
A lot of the White Sox guys did it. They didn't want to get better. That's not what's going on with Kris Bryant. The guy's lucky that he's getting out of bed without pain some days, or maybe no days. I think it's absolutely absurd that anybody out there is dogging on Kris Bryant because he's starting the season on the injured list again.
And finish it on the injured list.
And you're never going to get value out of that contract.
All I can tell you is don't read the comments because they're really, really bad.
Because
and
people are awful.
Yep. In Colorado, they are very vocal about the fact that they are not happy about the situation.
Which is funny. They're honestly just projecting their own frustration probably with their owner and the lack of spending and lack of competitive play and channeling it into a guy who I'm sure wants nothing more than just try and compete and produce for his team. And I would throw back at the Rockies fans, too. I bet you money Kris Bryant, a healthy Kris Bryant, probably signed that deal because he thought, you know what, I would play there for a couple of years and then they would trade me to somewhere interesting.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the Rockies fans can kind of
wrap it up really fast.
On that.
Does Kris Bryant ever swing a meaningful MLB bat ever again? What do you guys think?
No, because he's on the Rockies.
Well, okay, but
for him, meaningful for him.
No, no. My point. I'm sorry. A professional. Does Kris
he ever
Bryant
get another hit in Major League Baseball?
Does he ever take another at bat in Major League Baseball again?
I want him to, but again, I don't know what's in his heart and his mind right now. I want him to be healthy. I think it would be so cool, and you'll see this from time to time, if he could somehow come back as a DH and just be a guy that be a Justin Turner. I know. Be a Justin Turner type and hit some bombs.
Dominic is my answer. I don't think he ever does. And it pains me to say that because he is,
really
from
tough.
what I understand, just the ultimate guy. But I don't see this ending with him playing baseball ever again. I don't know if I'm not sure if the answer no is the worst outcome.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
I would like to see the team work out something, and I know he wants, but I would almost like them to rip off the Band-Aid for him, say, here's your money.
Right.
Go. We will help you with our doctors. Seek any medical help you can get. Stop wasting time twisting your back, swinging a bat.
Right.
Stop worrying about that.
Yeah.
Worry about yourself, and if baseball comes back, miracle, sure, great. It's a horrible situation.
It is.
And people that are saying bad things about him are horrible people. And speaking of horrible people,
I was going to say, you got a real horrible transition, baby.
Great segue.
Tony Clark. Now, nothing's been proven. I don't know anything for a fact. We're a podcast, so we can just go on rumors.
But Jeff Passan has tweeted this out, and he's pretty legit.
That's correct.
Okay.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Thank God.
I wasn't part of whatever went on with his family. But he's being investigated, we know that, by the Eastern District of New York for financial dealings as the head of the MLB Players Association. And I believe it's got to do with a youth league that was getting a ton of funding, but it seems a little iffy on what was actually going on there. Right. How many games were really being played, and did it need all that money?
Right.
Okay.
That's bad. That's bad.
The other part of it. Let's just throw out a hypothetical, and we don't have to use Tony Clark, okay? It could be Clark Tony. Let's use this guy, Clark Tony, okay?
Tony the Tiger.
Clark Tony is not only stealing money, but Clark Tony during that time also decides that he is going to hire a relative, and Clark Tony is going to, allegedly, this Clark Tony guy, he's going to have an affair with either his brother's wife or his wife's sister.
Clark Tony is having an affair with his sister-in-law.
Correct.
They will not reveal her name. So
Right.
the question
Allegedly.
that my wife immediately,
Yes.
the question that my
Allegedly.
wife immediately asked
For any
when I
Clark
came
Tony
home,
out there, we're not saying you definitely did it.
is it the brother's wife or is it the wife's
Which is
sister?
worse?
And frankly, which is worse?
That's a really good question. So, your brother's wife or your sister's sister, which is worse?
So
I would throw the third one in there. Stealing
Okay.
potentially millions of dollars. Like there's
Well, okay.
a
I
lot
think-
there's a lot of questionable things going
You're
on
right,
here.
Buried
but
with
I
it.
think the question though is the whole like which is worse on which sister-in-law is this, right? Brother's
Yeah, so-
wife or sister's sister,
Wife's
no, wife's
sister. Wife's sister. Yeah.
I
Can't even
originally
keep track of it. It's
and
so
look,
bad.
Look, there's no. It's all wrong. It's all terrible. So we're not like scoring this like around
yeah.
the horn right now.
And again, I
But-
don't want to pile on a guy who clearly has made some mistakes. Maybe he can.
He's gonna get.
But this situation, we're just talking about the
Yes.
situation.
And
Little-
Clark Tony doesn't
public
exist.
shame here.
Cloney Tark. Okay, we'll go with that.
Cloney Tark doesn't exist.
I originally thought that the brother's wife was worse because not only have you betrayed your own marriage, but the brother that you've had your whole life, you've blown that up and you've tarnished that.
Yeah.
My wife, though, brought up a really good point where if this guy is so selfish that he is willing to have this kind of behavior, including stealing, that would it only continue to further the internal selfishness to say like, well, it's about me. It's about my relationship with my brother. We're like, the wife's sister, I think, is worse because this guy, whenever they got married, went into his wife's parents' kitchen, sat down and said, I would like to ask your permission to ask her hand in marriage.
Okay.
And then went off and cheated on her with the sister in the family.
Right.
So he's kind of ruining another family.
Right.
Like, if you're going to ruin a family, ruin your own damn family.
Okay.
Maybe that's where I'm landing on that, but I don't think both of them are awful, and I don't know if there's a right answer.
So great points. Okay. I am going to say I think the worst situation, and they're both horrible,
Yes.
but the worst situation is the brother's wife.
Okay.
And here's why I say that. Because if you're cheating on your wife, on both instances, you're cheating on your wife. So that's horrible in its own right. So you're cheating on your wife, one. Now you're betraying your blood brother.
Yes.
That's two.
that you might have been the bigger brother of or the little brother.
So for me, again, they're both horrible, but I think the brother's wife would be the worst of the two.
Break the tie, Luke. Bring us home.
Well, there's something we haven't considered yet, and that answers the question.
Okay.
Do both sides have children involved?
yeah.
Good point. Good
You know,
point.
like
Yes.
if you're impacting the children and you're not only ruining the relationship with your wife and or your brother,
Right.
are you impacting all these children that now have to live through this on at the same time? That's part of it.
When is he going to jail? That's my question.
Cloney Tark? I don't know.
Cloney Tark,
'Cause
I don't know.
You know, cheating aside, horrible, yes, but he also committed a crime.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Potentially.
when-
Allegedly.
Not to be cynical,
When
but
is he
sometimes
gonna be
white collar
behind-
crime takes a while.
Okay, well, let me know when he's behind
Bars.
the bars.
It's bad.
I was trying to find out I would say it's the brother
Yeah.
because you've already your marriage is over.
Right.
Okay.
You betrayed the
I would
marriage.
assume your marriage is
Yes.
over. And you are not going to see that other family again.
True.
Your brother has probably been with you almost your entire life.
Yep.
That relationship with your parents, if they're still around, or nieces and nephews,
Cousins, other sisters.
that is not going anywhere unless they stick you out on an island somewhere, which is possible.
Thanksgiving is going to be rough.
It's going to be holidays are going to be
Oh, it
uncomfortable.
might be table for one for.
I think the kids are the main answer,
Coney-
but if I'm
Coney
seeing there's
Tark.
no kids on either side, then I
kids on
would
both
say
sides.
betraying your brother is
Yeah.
worse than your. Okay. As for Tony Clark, the guy who's resigning from the MLBPA, he was set to make like $3.5 million this year. He made $4.5 million last year. Like collecting big checks and all this. Money doesn't buy everything.
No, it does not.
Money does not buy everything. That said,
Yeah.
if we could all get raises here at the CHGO Cubs podcast.
Final.
We're all welcome.
Yeah.
We're all welcome to that possibility.
And we're morally way better guys than Cloney
That's right.
Tark.
That's right.
The last maybe cynical part about it too is you just kind of wonder how many people probably knew about this. And frankly, they said to themselves, we need a new guy here. And they just decided to just dig up all of his skeletons, and that's how we get him out. And I hate to say it like that, but that's sometimes how business works. And if he already was a bad guy, I bet you there were people covering for him for years who should be just as ashamed as he is that just now decided to flip that card over to get him out to bring someone else in.
Listen, in the hypothetical about Cloney Tark, the sister that cheats on her sister basically ruins her sister's marriage is also a little
agreed.
A little bit in trouble.
A lot of bit in trouble, I would say. Yeah.
She also made some very poor choices.
Yeah.
Don't be a Cloney Tark.
Don't be a Cloney Tark. There's our
one.
next shirt for the season. Don't be a Cloney Tark.
Just
Corey and Brendan with
Just say no.
Thursday podcast coming up for you. That is Cubs related. We are back on Monday with another fresh one, unless there's some big breaking news. We'll be back over the weekend.
Never know.
We're going out to enjoy the sunshine. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs podcast. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And fly the W.
We all silly like the mayor.